Good morning, beloved ones. Turn to someone and tell them, your light is blinding. Your light is blinding. Yeah. Your light is blinding. It's so bright I can't see. Yes, all I see is the reflection of God in this place. All I see is light beaming back at me. That's a wonderful thing, and it's a wonderful feeling. Especially since this has been such a full week with the news, of course, of the bombing in Boston and all of the media coverage of the fight out and the killing of one captive and securing another, with all the stories of heroism and compassion and heartbreak, all the tweeting that's been going back and forth, with the rush to judgment that has occurred as to who they are and what they look like and what this is all about, with all the expression of hurt and anger and fear and suspicion. And I have to tell you, this may be terrible to say, but I did not watch it on TV, nor did I listen to it on the news or remain glued to the television. I certainly saw glimpses of it as I was channel surfing, because it was everywhere. When I would pick up my phone, I have a CNN app, and of course, it just shows up on my phone, and I'm looking down to see if it's someone trying to call me, and it's CNN, and it's giving me the news, and I just said, I refuse to allow all of the hoopla into my consciousness. And instead, I simply chose to pray. I chose to pray for all and to send forth the vibrations of love and peace and healing and comfort and calm and light. I consciously chose to be a light bearer and not the bearer of bad news, pun intended. You know, I thought, let me be a light bearer instead of the one who's going around, oh, did you hear it? Now this, no. I want to bring something else, and I was determined to keep my mind stayed on peace and not on the fear and the anger that was running rampant. See, fear is a major component of terrorism, and I would not be terrorized. I would not allow myself to move into that consciousness. Terrorism works because people are easily terrorized. And so I said, I'm not going to go there, but I want to keep myself and my mind stayed on peace. Well, as I was working on my talk, I thought, let me look up. I wanted to look up the definition of terrorism, and I found one from the Center on Terrorism. They actually have a center. I guess there's a Center for Peace, there's a Center for Terrorism, and they study that. And there were several definitions, and what they were saying that it was difficult to define what terrorism is, and so they gave all these different descriptions. But this is one that I thought was apropos, and it says terrorism is the premeditated, deliberate, systematic murder, mayhem, and threatening of the innocent to create fear and intimidation in order to gain a political or tactical advantage, usually to influence an audience. Now, what is so strange about this concept of terrorism is that I haven't seen where the use of it has really done anything to change or persuade a group of people or governments in any positive way. Right? I don't see where it has produced positive change. I've seen that it only produces more violence, more retaliation and anger and hatred and retribution and the like. So if it's done for the purpose of trying to persuade people to now see something differently or think differently or act differently towards their cause or their point of view, the opposite occurs. And people then begin to move into more anger and violence, more retribution. As I was thinking, well, what is it that we need? What is it that the world needs right now? The words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to my mind, and he said, hatred cannot drive out hatred. Only love can do that. And then he said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. So powerful. To say that what the world needs now is light and love is not just a Pollyanna cliche or a Pollyanna statement. Because, friends, when we begin to think about it, it's the only choice we have for survival as people on the planet. Otherwise, we're going to plummet further into darkness and to terror, living in fear of one another. I don't know you. You look like my enemy. I don't know you look different from me. I need to fear you. I need to annihilate you. I need to get rid of you. We will plummet further into that state, constantly being at war with those who are different from us, those who think differently. We will constantly be on the edge of destruction, destroying life on the planet and the planet itself, if we don't choose another way. Now, in all honesty, I don't see governments being willing to sit around the campfire singing Kumbaya and holding hands. It's a nice image, but I don't think that that's going to happen that way. I don't even think where even the consideration of the healing notion of love and light being a solution for humanity really being discussed by governments. We are going to have to be the ones to do that. This is going to have to be a grassroots movement and action. We're going to be the ones to have to truly bring about change, one person at a time. And don't think it's not possible, because it is. I love Mahatma Gandhi's encouraging words to us that says, be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the change you wish to see. See, that's part of how the spiritual dimension works. Be, do, have. You've got to be it. Then you do it. Then you have it. Be the change you wish to see in the world. It is time for us to become light bearers, to bring a whole new way of being on the planet. See, whether we are aware of it or not, we are in the midst of a very big evolutionary leap in consciousness and in manifestation. We are beginning to move, even though it doesn't look like it, but it's true and it's happening. We are moving from being mere human beings to being spiritual beings, light beings. We're going to be showing up in a whole new fashion on the planet. And we're in the midst of it. But whenever it takes a lot of energy, whenever the old is dying out and the new is coming forth, there's a little bit of pain. There's a little bit of struggle. There's a little bit of confusion. That's all right. It's part of the birthing process. And it's okay. But we are in the middle of it. And the time is for us to recognize that and to do our parts. We just sang the song, I am walking in the light of God. Sometimes we use it for, the children as they come in or out. I am walking in the light. But it's true. I am walking in the light of God. Oh my goodness, everywhere. God is everywhere, manifesting now. We have to remember that God's light is everywhere. It is everywhere present. And that light is the first creation of the divine. Light. Let there be what? Light. It's the first creation of divinity, of the divine. It is what gives or brings forth life. You cannot have life without light. We walk in it. We have life because of it. And we're never without it, without that light and energy of God, because it is what enables us to exist and to express. So light, as does love, has transformative qualities. It creates, it expands, it increases, it heals, and it can even take us to another dimension. It takes us to another level of expression whenever we tap into the vibration and the energy of light. It will take us to a different feeling, a different seeing, a different knowing, a different understanding. Now, basic physics tells us that light travels faster than sound, right? We all know that, right? We all talk about traveling at the speed of what? At the speed of light. Light travels faster than sound, and sound, as we know, is a what? A vibration. Yet light travels faster than sound. That being true, then light must be an even higher vibration than sound. And since it was the first creation by God in relationship to our own existence, it must then carry the vibration of God. If light is fast. You follow me? Yes. So that's physics. And metaphysically, it means that we are meant to be light bearers. We are created to be light bearers, carriers, and expressions of the divine light of God, the high vibration of God, the creative energy of God. And when we remember and wake up to our true makeup and begin to use our transformative abilities to change the world, we will be where we want to be. We'll be that change when we wake up. Each of us has to begin to vibrate as love and as light, literally and figuratively. And when we do, we will begin to not only, bring heaven upon the earth, we'll move heaven and earth when we begin to vibrate on that level. Sometimes we think, well, I don't know about love. I can't do all this unconditional love. There's some people that just get on my nerves. I can't love them. Well, you don't have to love them. You have to just simply practice vibrating love. Don't worry about you loving an individual. Because when you truly tap into that vibration of love, that's going to take care of itself. Right now, that's the human part of you saying, I can't love my brother, my sister, my neighbor, or whoever. Don't worry about that. Because, see, the only way to eliminate fear and hatred and prejudice and greed and all these other limiting things, misunderstanding, is to raise the vibration of light and love and the energy on the planet. That is what is going to allow us to transcend. When we raise the vibration of light and love, that's what's going to move us beyond our cultures, move us beyond religions, move us beyond our attitudes and our perceptions, because all those things are barriers. My God is bigger and better than your God. The way I look is better than the way you look. How I'm showing up is better. All of that stuff, when you are vibrating at a certain level, it transcends all of that, because we're going to be ushered into this higher vibration that is closer to the divine energy of God, where the lower vibrations, all those things that come about because of the human condition, they don't exist. Poverty, hate, all that stuff does not exist in the vibration of God, in what true love and true light is. It cannot be. The darkness cannot exist in the light. Hatred cannot exist in love. And so all those things will dissipate when you are on the right vibration. So if you want to change your situations and your circumstances, you have to vibrate on a different level. If you want to change your environment and the things that you have, you got to change your vibration. If we want to change the world, and that is possible, or I wouldn't be here if I didn't think we could change this world. If we want to do that, then we have to change the vibratory rate on the planet. And when enough people of high consciousness begin to awaken, which is what we are doing, and they begin to stand in that vibration of God's love and God's light, and they begin to experience and they begin to express and they begin to tap into divine energy, things will change. People will change. life itself will change. And we won't have to do the changing. It will move automatically. You are here. I'm here. We are here to express light and love. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And it's simple when you trap into the vibration of God. Because when we can do that, everything else will fall into place. All the things will be added unto us, because we will be not only seeking the kingdom of God, we'll be expressing the kingdom of God, vibrating the kingdom of God, the kingdom of good. And the lower vibrations of fear will be overcome by love. Darkness will be eliminated by the light, and along with all those things that fear and darkness produce: alienation, separation, prejudice, misunderstanding, intolerance, poverty, all of the things of the human condition. I'm into collecting these days the pithy spiritual sayings that I'm finding on Facebook, and I have several of them. And I love them because when I go back and I read them, they're just so wonderful for me. But this one that I came across said, "Don't allow others to pull you into their storms. You pull them into your peace." Don't you love that? Right? Don't allow them to pull you into their mess and into their stuff and into their storms. You pull them into your peace. That means you have to learn how to vibrate peace and love. Because you know how easy it is to get all mixed up and in the middle of stuff and sucked into all the debris when a tornado is swirling around, right? All the stuff starts swirling. And if you're anywhere near it, you're usually going to get sucked into it too. You know how easy it is to do that. And when people get caught up in whatever is the trauma of the day or the drama of the day or whatever is happening around them, then all of a sudden it's too easy for them to also join in the fray. You'll be right there going, yeah, isn't it bad, isn't it terrible, isn't it horrible? Right there with them. But, friends, your being a light bearer can, and it will, if your light, energy, and vibration and whatever are strong enough, will pull others into that vibration. It's like a little tuning fork, right? Isn't that how it works when you hit the piano thing and it causes all the vibrations to rise up to whatever that pure note is? Well, when you hit that pure light, when you hit that pure note in you, it will cause everybody else to just come on right up into your level. Up into the truth. That's what Jesus said and meant when he said, if I could be lifted up, if I could raise my vibration, I'm going to draw everybody else up to that vibration. When you are vibrating that peace or that love or that light, then everything and everyone around you must come up to that level, to that vibration. You can calm the storm. You don't have to be like the disciples when the storm was coming and they were in the boat and they were running around all that fear. Oh, gosh, the storm. Jesus just woke. Don't you care, Jesus? He just woke up and said, be still. Right? He didn't get sucked into, oh, you're right, my goodness. We're going to sink. Look at the winds and the waves. Be still. And everything was still. You can calm the storm. You can lift the energy and the vibration. You can be not only the voice of reason, but you can be the voice of spirit that will then lead others to the wisdom and the truth that is needed for whatever particular situation you are in. You can do that. This is the time. You can change your environment and the energy all around you, and you can pull others into your peace, into your light, into your love. If you do that. So your assignment, should you choose to accept it, is to awaken spiritually and to step into the presence of being a light bearer, a change agent, a transformer, a healer, a unifier, a shapeshifter, and just plain the expression of the divine in action. If you do that. Jesus was not joking and expressing a cliche when he said, you are the light of the world. That wasn't just a cute little saying that we could put on posters. He meant for us to allow the light of God to fill us to the degree where we can't help but express it. Where there's so much light in you, so much love in you, it must come out. It must be expressed. He didn't say it so we can just go, oh, that's nice, but to allow it so that we would be transformed by that love and by that light. And not only that, that we would be transformed, but then we would not be able to do anything else other than to bless others, to help transform others, to bring everybody and everything in our presence up to and in the light of God. That's powerful, friends. And it's time to awaken our energy. It's time to stir up the spiritual vibrations of God in our being. So find a way to stir up the vibrations. Maybe you want to chant. Chanting is very powerful. Hum. Did you feel the power in his humming? Hum if you have to hum. Sing if you have to sing. Pray, and pray out loud. Don't be afraid to pray out loud. Speak that vibration. Speak that truth. Meditate on your spiritual centers and your chakras and stir them up. Get them moving. Get the energy in you flowing, so that you can stir up the gifts of spirit within you. It's time to do that. And it won't happen if we just sit there and say, well, kumbaya, Lord. No, you get into the spirit. You do the work. Ask God to enlighten you. Because sometimes we think as truth students, we don't have anything to do. Yes, you do. Jesus said, my Father works and I work. Do your work. And your work is to stir up the light in you. Your work is to get the vibrations moving. Your work is to be open, to ask God to enlighten you, to fill you with light. You're asking God not only that, to touch you, to touch your heart, so that you can vibrate with love. You can vibrate with love, and to ask with a deep sense of devotion to really want it. We've lost devotion. You got to be devoted to this purpose and devoted to the divine, devoted to God, devoted to being a channel and a vessel. And when we do that, when we begin to awaken and to raise our vibration to this level and to this energy, what happens is there'll be some different things that begin to happen in our lives. All of a sudden, your heart center will open up and it'll begin to flower. And unconditional love will become a part of your divine nature. You won't even have to worry about, well, I don't like Susie or Mary. It won't even be possible for you to say that. As much as you want to dislike Susie or Mary, all of a sudden you're going to find yourself just being in love. See? Your heart center will flower. You'll naturally love your neighbor, your enemies, yourself, because you'll see that there is no separation. All of a sudden you're going to see the oneness of all life. You'll be more peaceful when this begins to happen. You'll be more peaceful. You'll experience some bliss and some joy because you'll be able to accept what is. No more resisting of what is and is. Whatever it is, and you'll name it good and see it good, and it will manifest and change and transform into the God presence of goodness right before your very eyes without you trying to do it, you see? You'll automatically and naturally, without inner conflict, be moved to divine right action. You will do what is needed to be done by you at the time it's needed to be done by you. You won't have to go in there and try to figure it out. What should I do and how should I do it? You'll be moved to do that. You'll be able to let go more easily, even your need to be right. I watched myself the other day. I wanted to say something, and it was just like, oh, well, who cares? It just went. Whereas normally I was going to fight to have that right to be right. Doesn't matter. I could let it go. And it was all right. See, what happens is your awareness is going to be sharpened, friends, and you're going to find yourself experiencing a new level of understanding because you're going to be in the light. You'll understand things that you did not understand before, things that you thought you knew. Scriptures that you've been reading since you were a child will reveal themselves to you. Things will be different. You will see things differently. You'll have a level of knowing that is direct. In other words, your intuitive faculties will be stimulated so that you will know that you know that you know, and you don't know how you know, and you don't care how you know, you will know. You will know. You'll be doing and living in a different vibration. You'll feel connected, all of a sudden feeling connected to all life, to all living things. You'll see the sacredness of life, and you'll be moved to preserve it, whether it's a tree or the oceans, or an animal, or a child, or an elderly person, or your neighbor. You'll be moved to see the sacredness of all things. You will begin to serve others for the greater good of all concerned. In other words, friends, you'll not only be bringing light and love to our world, you will be the light and love of the divine in expression. You will be the change you wish to see in the world. So the time is night, and as I've always said, we are the ones we've been waiting for. It's time to bring it. Bring the light. Blessings. Blessings. Namaste. Namaste. Yes, yes. We are the ones. If we want to see it, we have to be it. And so this is an opportunity for us to take a moment and to offer blessings, not just for us, but for the greater good, to bless our world, to bless our work, to bless this ministry as we continue to be here as a beacon of light for those who are seeking light, who are looking for another way to be in the world, one that speaks to oneness and unity and love, harmony and peace and tolerance and acceptance and abundance and blessings for everyone and every living thing on the planet. Sometimes you have to know what you stand for. And we stand for those things that build up and edify humanity. Our affirmation is rather long, but it is for us for this week. I'll read it and then we can affirm it. It says, I am a light bearer. I raise my vibration and bring forth healing, love, and light. All darkness, fear, limitations, and illusions dissipate in the light of God. I am a mighty expression of that light. I am the light of the world manifesting now. Praise God.